turn this music on a bit more. Let's dance. You like it? I mean, girl. You liking this movie? Check out our pigtails. Pigtails and pink eyeshadow. I wonder if people are going to judge our dancing right now. We have 3 viewers.
We're crazy, I know.
That's what they came to see, the dancing. All right, it's over. No. Girl, I got my coffee too. Cheers.
I don't think they want to watch us dance, Liza.
No, they don't want to watch us dancing. All right, let me turn this music down. Guys,
some time to celebrate. Come on.
I turned the music off, but guys, we have lots of content to share with you guys. This topic is Southeast Austin a hidden gem? And the reason we wanted to discuss this is because there's a lot going on in Southeast Austin. Now, and I'm going to preface it with saying that Elon.
Can we first talk about the elephant in the room? Like we look crazy.
Oh, yeah, you guys, y'all want to say what do y'all think about our pigtails? Y'all have anything to say about that? I know we look a little bit ridiculous.
We're like
80s.
Gotta make it fun.
Yeah. This pink eyeshadow, I use the lipstick, and I don't know. I don't know how to do makeup, but yeah, it's just for entertainment purposes. So y'all know I don't really look like this all the time. So I got my social distortion shirt. Y'all see that? And then a jean jacket. Yeah. I think I'm pulling off the look. Maybe. I think it's 80s enough.
I think so.
And I love your blue glasses, by the way.
Thank you.
Makes the colors pop. But guys, all right. So Elon Musk's the Tesla Gigafactory, right? That sparked a huge movement, which made developers realize that there's untapped potential in the Southeast Austin area, right? And this is why we're going to talk about this. But before we get into that, we are 2 girls short today, so it's just Melissa and I for now. Maybe Amanda might pop in a little bit later. But before we get into that, we're gonna go ahead and Melissa, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell people who we are.
Sure. So my name's Melissa Hudson. If you've joined us before here with the ATX Homegirls YouTube Live, welcome back. And if you're new, thanks for joining. I am an Austin native. I'm actually a Southeast Austin girl, born and raised in Austin, grew up in Montopolis, and we'll be talking a little bit about Montopolis and Riverside area. And I've been a realtor for 10 plus years, and I love what I do. I love helping people. I have 2 kids. I'm a new grandma with pigtails. I'm a grandma with pigtails. And my mission is just to help as many people as possible. We're just bringing you guys content that we feel is kind of on the wire and, on the buzz, or just anything of value we can bring, and personal stories, because we are crazy. We will talk about some crazy things. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Melissa. And guys, I am Liza Brazzil, also an Austin native. Was born and raised here in Austin, grew up in the Montopolis area for been in the real estate business for 10 years, primarily in the residential sector. And as Melissa had mentioned, we're both passionate about real estate, helping clients and bringing you guys valuable content. So let's go ahead and get started. And just to introduce us as a group, we are ATX Homegirls. We're a diverse, local diverse, my dyslexia comes in, diverse local group of realtors in the Austin area, bringing you valuable content about all things real estate. So let's get started, Melissa. What do you think? Yeah?
Yep, let's get started. You were talking about something interesting here.
Riverside, Montopolis area. Let's get it going, Melissa. Go ahead and start it off.
So anyway, so diving into, let's first talk about where we grew up and what it looks like now and what can be expected coming to that area. So if you're not familiar with Southeast Austin, I used to call Montopolis like the lost neighborhood, you know? the
Yep.
last of the last. Like everybody was overlooking us. We were the hood. And
Right.
when
Absolutely.
right, that's how I felt when 78702 was coming up. I thought, well, our homes are valuable too. My mom's property, I think that's valuable. Well, when the well dried up in 78702, investors are like, okay, so what else is going on? And I always thought that Kemp Street was like Austin's best kept secret.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever driven down Kemp Street in Montopolis 78741, it's not the best kept secret anymore. And also, if you've ever heard of Secret Beach, I bet you didn't know, if you haven't been there, that you access that beach through Montopolis. Okay, it is no longer a secret beach. The word is out.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows it's not a secret beach anymore. But anyway, so the best kept secret to me is Kemp Street. And what I love about Kemp Street is, well, first of all, they're developing all over that street. So it's hard to have the view without getting onto private property. But there once was a way that you can just overlook. You have the skyline from left to right, the full downtown. So it's like the last view of the full downtown Austin with no obstruction. You don't have that anywhere else that close. What's that place that people would drive to off of 360 or 620?
The Pennybacker Bridge?
Out or something? Is that what it used to be called?
The Pennybacker Bridge, or which one?
City Lookout or something?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's nothing. Mm-hmm. That's nothing compared to the view you get in Southeast Austin. It is the closest view of the full downtown that you can get. Anyway, that's where we grew up. That's where Liza and I grew up. As far as development, I looked up some numbers, and this is just 30 days. So if you think about what the average property is over there, you think, okay, well, they're mostly single family homes. A lot of them are 3-bedroom, 1-bath. So as far as development is concerned, if we're just talking about the Montopolis area, you are looking at, the average lots over there, I would think exceed 5,700 square feet. Mm-hmm. A lot of those lots are a lot bigger than that. So they have the potential for an ADU or even duplex, depending on the size of the lot that you have. But I thought this was pretty interesting. And I just looked up 4.1 in general for single family sold in the last 30 days. And I'm going to tell you, and this is going to be wild to you, Liza, because you and I grew up there. So we always get surprised, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening. And the average price, and these homes, guys, they range from like 1960, 1971. And I think there's a 1938. I think the newest one is like a 2016. But would you think, Liza, that, let me just have you guess. I don't know if you ran the numbers. Just guess what you think the average price is. And this includes remodeled homes.
I would say average 550.
639.
Yeah.
That's closed. That's closed in the last 30 days.
Wow.
Okay. So wild, right?
Yeah, it is wild. I remember a few years ago thinking 250,000 for a home that needed work was insane. I remember thinking, I'm like, 250,000 for a house that needs work.
Yeah.
And now, right, they're going for a lot more. And Melissa, here's the thing: we grew up in that area, and every time we kept thinking, okay, it's capped, and knowing that there's a lot of development going on in Southeast Austin, do you think that there's still that potential for it to increase more? Like, it's not, a lot of people think it's come and gone, right? It's Montopolis is, you don't invest there anymore. It's already done. But I don't think that's the case. There's these factors, right? There's these outside factors that slow down the pace of the market, but I don't think it's done. Especially with what you just mentioned just now, right? About Montopolis. Yeah. And Riverside.
And there is something that's going to be happening, and development is probably going to be starting fairly soon. So if you're familiar, if you ever, by the way, if you are a UT graduate, I bet you lived on Riverside. I bet you lived on Wickersham. I bet you lived on Pleasant Valley or something.
All of the apartment complexes there.
Yes. Yep. And I bet you paid $350 or $500 for apartments, right? That was back in the day. So it would be interesting to know that there is going to be And I'm talking about huge. Like, we're not talking about small. And I, when I'm looking at it on the map, like with a bird's eye view, and you're looking at the side of downtown that's like, obviously Lady Bird Lake, and then you have big companies like Oracle. I don't know besides Tesla what the impact has been, but they're looking at plans for 109 acre. It's a 10 million square foot park mixed use development. This is going to be Riverside and South Pleasant Valley. That's huge.
That is huge.
It's going to be big. I think this plan for the full development happens it probably will take about a decade for it to happen, but we know how fast 10 years goes by, right?
Exactly.
That will start phase one. I think the phase one will include a residential complex, and they will, because of the city's affordable housing, there has to be some type of affordable housing. And I think that they're going to put out around 12,000 square feet of retail space. But I know that affordable housing will be in that residential complex, the very first one that's going to be projected for the very first retail mixed. You know how they have the retail at the bottom and then the residential on the top.
Right.
That's probably what it's going to look like.
And I style. Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned about the affordable housing. In our last live, we've expressed and we relate to our audience that affordable housing, it's we're lacking it drastically. And then there's a huge delay, right? Because of the demand for affordable housing. So it's really good to hear that they're going to incorporate that into that development. It's highly needed, especially in that area. And since you bring up that development on Riverside, I wanted to tap into kind of going into the Velocity development. So I have here, and I think you've seen it. I don't know, you guys might have seen the big signs. It says velocityatx.com. You guys can look it up. It's a website for anybody to look up, but it's a 7 million square feet of mixed use space. I have here, it could also be a 10 to 20 year project. They do have plans for a 3.5 acre central park, along with 100 plus acres of open space and parkland. And all of this, the square foot use will include, let's see, they have here multifamily, office, and commercial space. So that's Velocity. You guys have seen it.
If you on the billboards, yeah. But
exactly.
Can I just point out the obvious, because we've all seen the skyline change, the downtown city skyline change. I do feel that these two developments, which are really big, it's going to affect a lot of things. Obviously, traffic. Obviously, they're going to have to amp up public transit. But I do feel that because of how high these development projects are going, I think you're going to see an extension of what downtown Austin looks like on the east side of Austin. You're already seeing them dig and build more residential, commercial. I think mostly residential is what we're looking at. Right. But I do feel like that if you're driving on IH-35, whether you look to your right or left, I think it's going to look really different, Riverside Drive, in the next 10 years, like almost like a little cluster, like a little downtown in it.
It's going to be its own cluster, its own metro little area. Besides downtown, you're going to have your Riverside area, and then parts of. I think we're seeing these developments kind of like I want to say the bigger cities have. There's not really one particular downtown. There's several areas that these hubs that people go to, and I think that's what we're going to see here in Austin because we're experiencing rapid growth. And all of these developments that are happening, especially in Southeast Austin. The other thing I wanted to mention, along with Velocity, is also the industrial demand. Now, I'm not an industrial expert, but I found it interesting, the demand for industrial leasing and what's going up, such as there is one. Park 183 is not new news, but they are finishing out their final phase. And this is off of Burleson. Their final phase will include buildings 6 and 7. That's going to have, let's see, it's going to be expected to be done next year. And it will be ideal for warehouse or manufacturing. Now, along with that, near Burleson Road, a subsidiary of Bridge Investments purchased 34 acres of undeveloped land.
I wonder, do you know what they're going to put there?
It didn't say what they were going to put there, but it is in an industrial area. So it's probably going to be for that typical use. We'll see what happens with that. The other one that I wanted to bring up is Blackstone Unit Link Logistics. They also plan to develop 127 acres off of Highway 130.
So guys, this is all east of 35.
This is all south of the river, 183, 130 area. Yeah, these are all developments, like undeveloped land that people have either purchased in 2019, 2020, or 2021. And they have plans for development in the industrial sector. And along with that, we see also the residential space growing, like these master plan communities such as Easton Park, Goodnight Ranch. And I know you sold out there too, Melissa. So those are definitely expanding. And not that again, it's not new. Goodnight Ranch is not new, and neither is Easton Park. But we see the current developments going because these aren't done developments. Like for Goodnight Ranch, for example, I read that they were in the works of planning, I want to say commercial space for a cafe, grocery, and I want to say it's called the Ramble at the Goodnight Ranch. So I live in Easton Park. So for us, I'm not complaining that we have to drive to go out to eat somewhere, but there's nothing.
You want some restaurants?
Yeah. When you want to go to a restaurant, we don't have that walkability. We have to drive, right? And normally exactly, we have to drive to other areas. So for us, we were super excited. For anybody that lives in Southeast Austin, we were so excited when the CVS opened up off of William Cannon and McKinney Falls, that corner one. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. We're super excited. There's going to be more developments happening there. I want to say, now I don't know, right? We've been sold the idea since 2016, 2015, that there was going to be what is that grocery store? It's a small grocery store that was gonna pop up there, and then they took that away. But now I want to say
it's in Pflugerville, that little one.
No, it was going to be another one, and I forgot what it was called. But they took that away.
It's not even from here, right?
No, it's from here. They have one. We have several here. I just forgot what it's called. It's not Sprouts. It was another grocery store, but they took that away. So now there's either rumors or plans that a Summer Moon's going to go up there, and that's I know, right? My pockets are going to be drained because I go there. Right. But an AutoZone and they plan on other, maybe hopefully a bar. Restaurants that are going to go up in that area, in that corner of McKinney and William Cannon. So all of this to say, all this expansion happening, plus the industrial space off of Burleson Road and 183, that's not even done yet. I mean, that tells me a boom's probably going to happen in the Southeast Austin area.
As you're talking about that, before I forget, because I found this very interesting, that, and I didn't say this in the beginning, guys, but the project for the development I was talking about in the beginning of this, right? It's River Park, but it's River Park, but they're dubbing it, which, we've all been to the Domain. We know the size of it.
Yeah.
They are nicknaming it the Domain on Riverside. Okay. And it's supposed to be twice the size of the Domain.
Oh my goodness. With 10 million square feet? With 10 million square feet? Yeah.
It was originally going to be 5 million. I think that they added on more park and retail, which ended up to be 10 million square feet. But River Park, and just to put it in perspective, again, guys, it'll be double the current size of the Domain mixed use complex there in North Austin. So that really, and if you're from Austin and you know the Riverside area, can you just imagine what it's going to look like? Exactly. Can you imagine how many businesses, maybe old apartment complexes, will have to be bulldozed in order to render up something so huge, right? It's going to be huge. It's going to be big.
Kind of like right off of Riverside in the corner. I don't know if you remember, Melissa, all of those small, they were like rundown apartments. And then I remember when they bulldozed everything and then built up huge apartment complexes, luxury apartment complexes. It looks so different now. And we can expect and anticipate to see that as the years come. I want to say maybe within a decade, or between 10 to 20 years, it's definitely it's gonna start looking different. It started looking different already, but it's completely gonna change. I want to say within 10 years or between 10 to 20 years, that landscape's gonna be completely different. So for Austin, a Southeast Austin area, and again, when I say Southeast, there's a lot of interpretations. What is Southeast?
Well,
In
I like
my
to let 'em
opinion,
know.
I was gonna say, here's what I tell people. I don't know. I'm still of that mindset. Anything south of the river, that's south. Some people don't think that. They think south is south of 71. Well,
Mhm.
I think it's south of the river. So south, and then obviously east of 35, Southeast Austin
Mhm.
is that area. So that's going to be 78741, 78744, and 78747. So that area, I think it's going to experience more growth. It hasn't slowed down.
Yeah. Everything's
Despite
like
what's
super
happening
urban, right?
in the market. Yeah. So if you guys were thinking of investing or have property, just make note of these factors that we're talking about, that there's still hundreds of acres that have not been developed yet, that are in the works in the next decade. That could potentially increase values. Or if you wanted to invest before that happens, that would be a good entry point for you guys on the investment side. And I hope along with this, because I know a lot of these developments, they're going to be mixed use, which would include multifamily and commercial space and whatnot. I'm hoping that a lot of them do also incorporate affordable housing into this.
They're supposed to.
Yeah, so I'm hoping we hear more about that.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great opportunity for those that are wanting to still remain in the area and take advantage of that. Let's see.
So you mentioned about commercial development. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I think
For the commercial industrial development.
Commercial in general, which would be office space, apartments, restaurants, and everything. So besides the landscape changing and the way that you see it now, I think there was, and I have to go back to the article, but they were talking about the biggest retail development in 2022, the first quarter. You saw that in Southeast Austin.
Yeah.
And you're talking about thousands and thousands of square feet of commercial space. So I think the only one that could probably beat us would be Hayes County, but that's really going south,
It wouldn't be Austin proper anymore. So
there is supposed to be, I believe there is an affordable housing, Seabrook Square, I believe, is on Manor Road. It's supposed to be affordable housing, huge apartment development, 262 unit, I believe. That's supposed to be affordable housing. So I do feel like we're going to see more affordable housing, which would be nice. But overall, I mean, you can love it or hate it, but there's going to be some huge changes in the next 10 years. So if you are thinking about investing in that area, you're probably needing to do that now. If you live in the area, like my mom and my grandmother, I talk about really, doing some home improvements, kind of keeping up with any home maintenance, and just making your property to where when it's time, if there ever is a time, because it doesn't mean the development comes and you have to leave. It just means that take care of your home, take care of any deferred maintenance. You don't want, someone to give you an offer on your home based on just land. Make them pay for a nice home. Your buyers don't all have to be developers. They could be someone that can actually afford to buy your home and maybe do a small renovation, but all the mechanics in the home work and everything's looking good, and it'll be more valuable. That includes things like, Liza and I talk to our clients about this when we're listing. It can be anything from, your HVAC, making sure it's functioning fine, your roof, if there's any other roof damage from storms, make sure that, you address those leaks, making sure your house is sealed nicely. You don't have to be a landscaper. It doesn't have to be a beautiful landscape yard, but just make sure your trees are trimmed. That's a thing. Trim your trees. Make sure that your yard looks good. keep up with your home because it's coming, guys. It's coming fast. And before you know it, your house is worth so much money and you don't want to be stuck just giving your house away, right?
Exactly. I wanted to talk about another development. I want to say,
poster.
what happened?
This
What
guy.
happened?
Melissa, I'll give you 300 cash for that Metropolis property.
You can
okay,
give
Daddy
me,
Honcho.
Daddy Honcho, you can give me 360 for one I have listed now. No.
What do you have? Talk about your listing.
I know, right? It's on
Which one
Cruise
is it?
Street.
Which one?
168.
168 Cruise. I don't see it.
Let me see. I'm sorry, 6801 Cruise Street.
Okay, hold on. Are you under contract on it?
No. Hey. Hey, Mr. Viewer, Daddy Honcho. You're interested in some land. I actually got a listing out there in Montopolis. 360.
This is your people.
Yep.
I say your people because I'm not going to reveal her client's name, but I know Liza's been working with these investors who, by the way, have a ton of property in Montopolis.
They do.
And this would be one of theirs, right?
Yep, one of theirs. They have tons. They want to see how this one works out, and then we
And
shall
by the way, this street, Cruise Street, guys, it is walking distance to the charter school, and right near a bus line. So it is the intersection would be Cruise, and the nearest intersection would be Vargas, and Vargas will intersect to Riverside, which is why they were able to do a nice aerial view on that one.
Exactly.
It's very close proximity. So this is what I talk about with, if you were an investor looking in 78702 and you're like, holy crap, like I can't even get a shack, like a little torn down shack and a piece of land for, less than 500,000. Well, you can definitely find the affordability in this area for sure,
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, Melissa, since we're on the subject of Montopolis, did you still have any off market there that you want to discuss?
We actually put them on the market.
Okay.
And
go ahead and talk about it. Yeah, they just went on.
Yeah, well, they're on the market. We're negotiating right now and we're pretty close to having this thing wrapped up. But
nice.
It would have been nice to talk about it here, but that's okay. Our
what can you do?
Right. Our goal is to get things sold fast, right?
Exactly.
So, but let's look at when we're talking about. I'm just seeing active homes, and I'm just talking. There are other zip codes in Southeast Austin, guys. I was focusing on 78741, but if we're looking at Montopolis area, at Riverside, kind of Pleasant Valley sections in there,
right?
You've got 36 properties you can choose from right now if you're looking in that area. And I believe, these prices are ranging from $299 to $2 million. So that tells you a lot right there.
Yeah, it tells you a lot. Still opportunity for growth there if that's where you're wanting to invest. Right. The other one, before I forget, is Mirador, or I want to say Mirador, but Mirador. I'm not sure.
Mirador.
I know, right? Mirador. So it looks like Hines. It's a real estate company. It's a Houston-based real estate company. They're still, and this is not new news, right? It's not something that just came out. This came out earlier this year in January that they're planning on developing a $500 million master plan community. This is going to be 1,400 acres near Pierce and Wolf Lane. So again, a lot of these things are centered because of Tesla, right? So let's see. This is going to consist of 2,500 single-family homes, 1,500 apartments, townhomes, multifamily units, and 75 acres of commercial space. And it looks like the builders that they have so far, this can change, but they have Lennar, David Weekley, Highland Homes, and MHI. So it's definitely something to keep an eye out. I want to say they're going to start selling that either next year. I'm not sure. There hasn't been really any announcements on that. But as you see, you have kind of Austin Del Valley area, right, where they're planning these master plan communities. Then you have the current master plan communities that have been and still working on, such as Easton Park and Goodnight Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
And then along with the industrial developments that are either they're in the final phase or they have undeveloped land, which is hundreds of acres that they still haven't done anything with yet. And then the velocity that's going to be huge. 7 million square feet, along with what you mentioned, Melissa, off of Riverside. There's a lot going on.
The Riverside domain.
Right. Yeah. So like we mentioned earlier, these are either projects that are currently happening, either finishing out or that are upcoming.
Right.
And also land that has been purchased in such areas as industrial or residential use that we don't know what they're going to do with yet.
Right.
But
sometimes they'll hold on to that land for a long time.
Exactly.
I wanted to mention that I believe this came out late last week, but the city of Austin, the Austin City Council, they did approve putting an affordable housing bond package on the November ballot. And I believe they're trying, well, the bond, the ballot, what's on the ballot, bond
Right.
ballot, I'm getting tongue tied here.
Yeah.
Basically, they're asking voters to consider authorizing about $350 million in funding. And that's just to offset, the real estate prices that have gone up in the last few years, and also rents. I believe it would be the largest of its kind up for vote in the city of Austin history. You're talking about $350 million of funding for affordable housing. That really puts to light what's happening here in the greater Austin area, mostly in the city of Austin, and how fast real estate prices have gone up. But that's actually good news, guys. Mm-hmm. So that's a little light at the end of the tunnel for folks that are like, man, there's just no end in sight, right?
Exactly. I think overall, it's really good news because it provides opportunities for those looking for affordable housing. It's also good news because values are increasing for those that are wanting to know as far as their investments that they currently have or housing that they currently have. Are my values going to continue to go up? Because it does help anybody, right? That's either looking to sell or maybe cash out some of that equity or use their primary house to be able to purchase other investments, right? So the other thing I wanted to mention, Melissa, and I forgot to mention this about velocity. So right close to velocity, it looks like ACC owns 124 acres close to it, which they plan to develop. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but they're wanting to develop a regional workforce campus for 10 to 12,000 students. And then specifically for the studying fields of automotive, building construction, heating and air conditioning, welding, and jewelry making. So that's another thing to note. So there's definitely a lot going on with education, industrial, commercial, housing, single family housing for primary residences. There's a lot going on in that area. And this is all just Southeast Austin. Mm-hmm. So I believe, right, that a boom's going to happen for sure. Maybe after this, I think people are focusing too much right now on interest rates and the uncertainty of where this is all going to go. But I'm telling you now, people that have that land, they hold on for a while. Yeah. We don't know when all of this is going to happen, when it'll all be completed, but hang tight if you guys have certain plans.
I will also say, there's just been a lot of talk about interest rates, and I just feel like there's a little bit of negativity around the volatility of what's happening in the market. But I just want to say, do not, and I posted this on Facebook today, and I really do mean it, guys. Like, just because the interest rates are going up, or what you would perceive to be what would make things affordable for me, we've talked about this in past lives. Don't let that deter you from having your dream of home ownership, because the market is cyclical. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. And I've seen a few, posts kind of like mine in different groups and different people in the industry. And there's a lot of people that will comment on there and say, hey man, I bought my house in the 80s. I paid like 12 or 14% interest rate. mortgage interest rate. I'm thinking, man, it makes me sweat thinking about it.
Right.
Like, there will always be an opportunity to refinance. Okay. What that looks like for you and how low you'll be able to refinance. What's the big deal? Right? As long as your mortgage payment, you can afford it. What might look different is like the location, maybe the size where you live, but maybe not just put so much negativity on the interest rates, because if you are thinking, hey, I'm lined up to buy a home and then the interest rates went up a little bit and you're like, okay, I can't do it anymore. Just pivot and like change the plan a little bit. Don't give up. Just don't give up. I don't want people to let that deter them, and I don't want people to give up on that.
Exactly. I think that's a really good way of putting it. A lot of people get how do I put it? they get what is the word I'm looking for? Discouraged when they see the news about interest rates going up again. And it's true, and it's news. It is news. But it shouldn't, if you're already in that position that you're positioning yourself to purchase a home, I don't think that should be the only factor that should deter you. There's always a way to make it work. And I do see a lot of primary residence sellers and also builders providing incentives to offset that. So just know that there is opportunity out there, whether you're looking to own and hold as a primary house or to invest, because I know for investors, and if you guys don't already know this, the interest rates are a little bit higher. But if you think about it as an investment standpoint, and if your numbers work for you, then go ahead and look to see what your options are, what those numbers look like, depending on the area and whatnot. So
you took a class today on short-term rentals.
Yes.
I always think of Metropolis being a great area for short-term rentals, me personally. Look how close it is to downtown.
It's close to here's the thing. Here's what Southeast Austin has. And I'm glad you mentioned that. The airport, right? You're close to major highways, 71, 183, 130, and I-35. You're close to downtown. What is it, 15 minutes? 15 minutes to drive there?
Not
15
even.
minutes to the airport. For me in Easton Park.
10 minutes to downtown or less.
Right. So I live in Southeast Austin, Easton Park. For you guys that don't know where Easton Park is at, it's off of William Cannon and McKinney Falls and 183. It's kind of like in that little nook there. It takes me 15 minutes to get to the airport.
ACC, Riverside campus?
Exactly. It's super. I mean, the values here have gone up. So
apparently you're going to have a domain in the next 10 years. So
exactly.
I don't have enough fingers to show you.
So for you guys, if Montopolis and Riverside is not it for you, or it's too pricey, or you're not sure, there are other areas. Yeah, there's definitely other areas to consider. In even off of Burleson, it's mainly industrial, but you see a lot of breweries coming up, or that are established right now, restaurants that a lot of people going to, just because it's closer to where they live. Like it's servicing the communities that live, such as myself in Easton Park or in Colorado Crossing. Anybody else
has been there for a long time.
It has. And isn't it crazy how it's gone up? Because it's a convenient location. It's a great location, given with everything that's going on. So, I mean, it's its own little hub, I think. And it will become that, because for the longest time, we really didn't have places to go. We had nothing against this restaurant, but you had like your catfish parlor, and I'm a vegetarian. I'll eat hush puppies, I guess. But I mean, that's what you have there for the longest time. It's still going. It's still going strong. That restaurant.
Hey, the catfish parlor is still going strong. Them hush puppies are good too.
They are. I will eat that. I'll make that a meal. But I can't. I mean, what else am I going to eat there?
Right.
But what?
Looks like you just hang tight. There's more coming. Apparently.
I'm going to hang tight. Yeah. I will drive. We drive a lot anyway, so I don't mind driving, and I'm not complaining in any way. But it's one of those things like, when I want something, I gotta drive. But it would be nice to have that, and we're getting that, and we see more things coming, more things that are in development right now that are in the planning stages. But right now, in the communities that we have, such as Easton Park and Goodnight Ranch, I believe, I'm not sure if this is for Goodnight Ranch, but for sure in Easton Park, we have these food trucks that come here, because not that 15 minutes or 20 minutes is rough to drive to go to a restaurant, but we have food trucks come into the community to feed us. so we can buy food and feel, all right, this is okay. We can hang tight. And we have for a while. So it's coming. Right now it's a little lonely, but we have a CVS. And that's what we have going on in my neck of the woods. I can buy.
It's like, how urban have we become, guys?
I know.
Like seriously, walkability. When you hear those words, walkability, people want to walk out their door, down the street to a coffee shop and a restaurant.
Yep.
I live in the suburbs. Y'all know I live in Manor. If you don't know, you know. Now you know. Mm-hmm. I live in Manor, and we don't even have an HEB out here. But we got a Walmart. But there's just been like this paradigm shift where even past COVID, it's like I just order my groceries and Instacart it to the door, or I order it, go to the store, open my trunk up, and they can put the groceries in it.
Yep.
But if you're in Austin, and we have food trucks here too in this neighborhood that come
right. It's just
clearly it's coming, right? Clearly it's coming.
Right. I know. And the other thing is HEB, man, they own land close to where we're at. And I'm sure they own land out there.
Say it again. Say it again.
I'm just saying they own land here.
Are you there? Can you hear us?
But they hold on for years.
For the longest time. They just acquire these properties
and forever. So it's not, I mean, they have it. They have the land and they hold on. They hold off on that until there's plenty of demand to be able to build one out. So Manor, I feel like Manor,
stuff like that.
I feel like Manor's there though. I mean,
does HEB been there?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are like already developed and lots of communities, lots of houses, lots of everything going on, and there's no HEB. That's crazy. Where do you go again, Melissa? Where do you drive to?
Well, before pandemic, I would just run to the Walmart, and I hate Walmart. I don't like your produce section very much. Okay. The vegetables, okay, they've been there a week. Okay.
Use your pick
on that. But, okay, so this is from my house driving distance. It'll take me 25 minutes or so to get to the Palmer 35 HEB. If I'm going to Elgin, I can go more east to Elgin and get there in 20-ish minutes. Right. I can go to Mueller and get there in about 20 minutes. Or I can go to Pflugerville in the back road and get there in about 25 minutes. So I'm within a 25-minute-ish drive for HEBs. And I feel like that's probably why they just haven't built one here, you know. Mm-hmm. But there is one coming. So did you know that?
No, I didn't.
No, there's one coming on the corner of 973 and 290. And we're going to get a
Home Depot. You know what? I did read about that. Holy shit. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Where's the swear jar? Give me your money, swear jar. Give me your money. Yes. There you go. Yes, we've been talking about Manor on a different live, but yeah, we're getting. Can y'all believe this? We're getting an HEB in Manor.
And that's exciting for anybody that cares to know. Yeah, HEB
and is the Kohl's. Girl, we're getting a Kohl's.
And a Kohl's. Wow.
We're moving up.
We're moving up, guys. The things that excite us. Oh my goodness.
Hey guys, if you're just joining in, thanks for coming. We're talking about how crazy the times are and how the skyline's going to change and how much development is coming to Southeast Austin and South Austin, but mostly towards the East Corridor. Mm-hmm. Anywhere from Riverside, Metropolis, Pleasant Valley on Burleson, going further towards where Liza lives in Easton Park. Apparently she's getting a summer moon over there, so she's really lucky. But
drinking right now.
Yeah. This girl's hooked. You're talking about major development. Things are, it's not just like, hey, you know, they're building this condo over here. You're talking about the type of development that changes the skyline. So when in a few years you're driving down I-35 and you're like, what the heck is that over there? Well, it's going to be like the domain times 2. It's going to be bigger. So things like that are happening. Still development opportunities. And if you do own property in Southeast Austin and you don't want to sell, that's fine. Just make sure you take care of your property, because when it comes time to cash in, you don't want people to be lowballing you on your home and your property. And your home. Joanne C. says HEB in New Braunfels. up this year, and the barbecue dining has its own upstairs area with a great view, also furniture department.
Wow.
South,
What?
this further south.
Yeah. Dang. Hey, New Braunfels. I mean, New
Right.
Braunfels in the house. No. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's for me, it is exciting. Now, Melissa, I don't know if you used to call this when you lived in Montopolis. Would you call going to Riverside downtown? That's what I would call it. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, and I'm not talking about not crossing 35. I used to call the Riverside area where I don't think Randall's is there anymore, but where Randall's used to be, HEB's I know still there, but we would call that going to town, going downtown. And here we are living in Montopolis, and it's like what, a 5-minute drive. But we would say, let's go to town, or let's go downtown. That would be our, I don't know. Did you do that too? Or
well, I'm a little older than you. So back in the day, we had a roller rink, we had sportsplex, and it had a roller rink, batting cages. I mean, I was on that roller rink having a good time. And then we had Aquarius movie theater on Pleasant Valley.
I remember that.
Remember that one? So you ain't that young, girl. You ain't that young.
No.
Yeah. So do y'all remember that? Chime in if you know about that one. But yeah, it was a good time. And then I'm really going to show my age here, but closer towards 35. We had Games Galaxy arcade back in the arcade days.
Ooh, I don't remember that. Nice.
Sorry, Mom. I would go play video games. I was supposed to be somewhere else.
She's watching this and she's
telling on myself.
I knew it. You forgot.
Forgot. Hopefully, Mom's not watching. I'm telling on myself.
Oh my gosh! But it's such a great area. It was. Oh gosh, I don't know. I know I talk about this a lot, but back in the day when I lived there, I hated living there. And I was like, I just want to get out. Yeah, I just wanted to get out. And then now,
you're like, why don't I have property there? Dang it.
Yeah, I see the bigger picture. I was just living in my own little bubble there, and really, I don't know, just my lack of understanding. I mean, obviously, this was when I was a kid, but yeah, it really is a unique area. And with that being said, the expansion happening south of that as well along 183. Do you know if they're going to expand? Right? I think you mentioned that a long time ago when it wasn't on the live. 183, right?
Yeah, where 71 is going south on 183. They're going to open that up.
Right. That's what I thought.
I think it's around on the southbound side of the highway, around 100 feet in. Mm-hmm. So when you're driving down 183 and you see homes, restaurants, just anything right here.
Right.
All that is, it's going to be, I don't know, I suppose a toll road or something. Who knows? Right. But it's they've already been in the works.
Right. It's been for a couple years now, right?
Southbound 183.
Right. So I mean,
you're
just
property owner over there, you better go check your mail.
Yeah.
Some notices.
Yeah. I see that. I see people that own property right along there, and I'm wondering, like, do they know? Do they know what's going to happen? I'm sure they know, but I'm always curious, because I haven't seen that much property selling right on 183 where that's going to happen.
Well, people are holding on to their properties, which I like to see that.
Right.
Keep it as long as you can, guys. Honestly, and if you can't, then obviously you go to sell. But keep it as long as you can.
Maximize on your profit, and that's if you want to get out of there. If not, stay and enjoy what's to come. All the retail space, all the commercial, all the nice parks that are coming up.
You name higher taxes. I'm sorry.
What happened?
It's like enjoy them higher taxes. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'll tell you something. Let me tell you something. What my tax rate here in Easton Park. So it used to be at 3.21%. Now I want to say we're down to 2.9 or 2.89%, which helps, right? As the community grows, then it helps lower that tax rate. But dang, that's an expensive.
Let me see what that tax rate looks like on Stasny. So that would be what, 4.5?
4.4.
No, 4.4.
Yeah. If you go 4.4. What?
The home prices in 78744.
They're all over the place. So when you cross over McKinney Falls, which is where now it's in Easton Park on William Cannon, all of that would be Easton Park. But before McKinney, then you have these other little older neighborhoods that have lower tax rates. I want to say their tax rates are either 2.4, right?
You're talking about 2.1, 2.2.
2.1. So man, you want to take advantage of lower property taxes, and well, there you go. Southeast Austin does have that. And again, it's going to vary from neighborhood to neighborhood, but on average in the older neighborhoods, they're between 2 to 2.4%.
Colorado Crossing is 2.3. And these are the newer, I say newer, like 2000, the year 2000 and newer.
Right.
But anything, like you said, in the older east side, the southeast, sorry, like Dove Springs, that area, really showing how much we know our neighborhoods. Exactly. Homes were built in the 70s. Tax rate over there is 2.17. So,
and which is great. I mean, that's a great tax rate to have.
Yeah, which is a lot of these homes are remodeled too.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the homes in those areas have been remodeled because when you see new developments coming up, I mean, owners see this and they see this as a plus side on their end, right, for their value to cash out on that. And I think people want to capitalize that. And I think people are much more savvy now with the amount of information there is about real estate in general and specific areas. I think that's great to know that. And that way they can make a good decision or a choice like, well, do I hold off or do I go ahead and capitalize now to be able to get some money out of this? Or maybe, like I mentioned earlier, get a cash out refi and invest in another property in an area that's probably going to
out, guys. Like I just looked up 78744. So you're talking, if you're on 71, it would be south of 71, Stasny, St. Elmo, McKinney.
St. Elmo.
78744 goes a long way. It goes pretty deep south. You can almost to Slaughter, right? There's a little cluster.
Yeah, it does go almost to Slaughter, and it does go all the way to 183 area past McKinney, because I'm in 44 right now.
Yeah, so this, I'm just like shocked. So I don't know. So I have up, you see what I have up? Read it out loud, Liza, for the folks.
Oh, are you talking about the comment?
Yeah, read that out loud.
So a good time to buy a home is when you are ready and you find the home for you. Don't let interest rates determine whether or not you make your home ownership dream come true.
So we're looking up 78744, and I'm just going to, I don't know, you probably look at your stats, but will you just take a stab at how many homes you think are on the market over there?
In 44 in general? Oh my gosh. 350. I don't know. 350.
114.
114 homes?
Yes. And of those 114 homes, let me see. I'm going to tell you right now so you can freak people out. Under 400, well, let's just say under 450. 32 homes under 450.
Everything else is.
But and let's just talk about what's lower. So let's just say under 400, you're looking at about 9 homes. And some of these have been on the market like 11 days, 12 days, 13 days, 41, 28 days. So I say this, with love and hope for you. If the tax rate is good over there and you can find a home, I mean, I just don't know why you wait. Look at this one, 325, been on the market 11 days.
325. I mean, that was tough to find in Austin last year.
Yeah, there's one here this one just $20,000 price reduction. It's $369, and it's an Indian Hills subdivision, fully remodeled, $369.
Yeah, it's there.
Not bad.
Anyway, in a great area, in a booming area. I mean, it's going to happen, guys. So you hopefully in the next coming years, you will see all these developments. It'll start circulating more often in the news, what's happening. But we wanted to definitely discuss the projects that have been happening and upcoming projects, and also land that has been undeveloped, so you guys know. And before I forget, because I'm horrible with this, you guys are enjoying our content, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We try to make it fun today. I wore ridiculous eyeshadow. Do you see my eyeshadow? Y'all
Not
see that?
ridiculous.
Pink eyeshadow with pink
I'm kind of
lipstick.
blind.
Y'all see that? We try to go 80s theme. I wore my, I don't know, my husband said I should
got
wear
my
a
MTV shirt on.
I don't know. I didn't know what to wear. So I was like, I guess I'll wear this and pigtails so we can make it fun for you guys. We're gonna try to incorporate themes into our live streams.
And we'll continue to have guests and stuff. But
yes.
What was really important for us was, and what brought in the Southeast Austin conversation was, I've got the 2 listings in Southeast Austin, and I was like, going over there, visiting my mom and, visiting grandma. And I'm like, what is going on here? I don't drive Riverside a whole lot anymore. I'll be honest. I take 290, 183, and I take the back end into Metropolis. And the other day I drove through it, and I looked at my husband, and I was just like, oh my God, like, we need to talk about this. How does it affect you if you're not a homeowner yet and you're just like, I do want to live in Austin, I don't know where to buy? This isn't actually, this whole section, Southeast Austin, 78741, 4445. Take advantage of it if you can purchase. I think, because I think you'll see a good, your equity start to increase as the development comes, right? So that's why we talk about these things, because sure, we're realtors. We still want to talk about the content that's valuable to you. But if you, let's say you own a home in these areas and you don't want to leave, great. Take care of your home, make your home worth it when it comes time to sell or pass it down to your kids. So
exactly.
And if you're an investor, you're looking for investment opportunity, obviously, these are things that you want to have on your mind, because you think, wow, my margins are really narrow. Like, I'm going to buy this property, it'll, the numbers, what Liza says, make the numbers work. Well, sometimes the numbers work, and that hold time, sometimes it has to be a little bit longer. But if you know what's coming in 10 years and you're able to hold it, maybe rent it, I don't know what it looks like for you, don't sleep on that either. If you're a homeowner and you're looking at a place to invest, I don't know, maybe you find a business partner and you do it like that. Or maybe you pull equity from your home and you say, okay, we're going to invest in an area that we know for sure there's going to be development in the years to come that will make my property worth, I don't know, maybe 100,000 more, maybe more than that. We talked to the lady today on her rental in Fredericksburg. How much did she cash in?
She was her revenue was 450,000, but she took some write-offs for 630,000, and
sold it for
950,000.
So she made over $1 million.
Yeah. So I mean, and she bought this property, and I don't know if she's watching right now. Say hi if you are. But she bought this property back in 2015 for 350,000. So, which brings me, so our next live, guys, I'm going to remind real quick. I'm going to recap. So every other Wednesday, we do go live at 7 p.m. Sometimes we have a guest, sometimes we don't. On our next live, August 17th at 7 p.m., we do have a guest, Rika Keepers. We're going to be discussing highest and best use for your land, or if you're planning on purchasing land, the permitting process and what to look out for. And I think we're going to incorporate zoning. So if that's something that you're wanting to know, you have land, or you're thinking about purchasing land, or you have property that has enough land to possibly build an ADU or a casita, right? You don't want to miss that live stream, because it's going to be packed with information that I think would help someone like you that's potentially looking to expand out and I don't know, do something with your property or possibly invest. So, and don't forget to
right off the top of your head, how much square footage do you have to build an ADU in Austin?
62. Yeah, I think so. No, I think it's more than that. To build an ADU, 5,500, I believe.
5530, 55 something, 5530, something like that.
So
what we talk about is your land square footage, like your lot square footage. And if you're in the city of Boston proper, that next week when we talk to Rika, she'll be able to tell you, look, You don't want to leave. You can't afford these taxes. Let's do something. Let's say your home is paid off. Let's find a way to have you stay, have an income producing property on your land. What if, Adam, just riddle me this, what if you built a casita and you live in it and you get more rents on your main house? Like, these are the conversations where we say we keep Austin because we keep them in Austin. We keep you in Austin if you can do it. If you can do it, I would love to see it. That's me personally.
Exactly. Or it could offset your mortgage. There's plenty of people that, you know what, I just want something to take care of my mortgage. That could be something, an easy way to do that as well.
Build your retirement. What if your home's paid off?
Build retirement, build passive income, or offset your income, whatever it is that you're wanting to potentially, I don't know, dive into. I think this next live stream would be something that you guys want to tune in. It's going to be on August 17th at 7 p.m. with Rika Keepers. Don't forget about that. And please like and subscribe so you can get a notification on our upcoming live. After that, we do have, we're not sure of the dates yet. And I'm probably...
It might be September 7th.
Might be speaking out when it's probably, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we're hoping we have her as a guest.
31st of August.
So we're hoping to have another guest to discuss short-term rentals.
I'm putting tentatively on the calendar.
Right?
Tentatively.
If you guys want to know about that, let us know in the comments or hit us up on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Just message me or text me. Our contact information is in the video, posted in the video. But and also we're hoping to have a colleague / friend / investor / realtor. We're hoping to get him on board as well to talk about the creative.
He was supposed to be here this week, but he was busy. But guys, you have no idea how excited I am to have. His name starts with a B, and he's probably not watching because he is a very busy person.
Don't say anymore. No, but we have cool stuff lined up that I'm excited to discuss because I think this is something that will definitely help you, or you might learn something new, right? That it could help.
It'll be like his life will be like a mind equal blown. You'll be like, what in the heck? Like
what does he do?
What in the tarnation is this guy doing? It's freaking amazing, guys.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing, and you can do it too. Like, true story. I can't even talk about it. We'll be on here for another hour.
I know. We'll save it for the next live stream, but I think people definitely, this is information you want to know. So also if you guys have any suggestions or there's topics that you're curious about that you're wanting for us to discuss on any live stream that we have, again, we go on here every 2 weeks, every other Wednesday. So if there's something you want to see discussed, let us know. I had that happen with other colleagues. They're like, hey, enjoy the content, but I would love to know more about X and X, right? So let us know, and we can definitely incorporate that maybe into our next live, depending on what the topic is, and we can talk about it. So we're here to bring you content, and hopefully it helps you out. Again, we would appreciate if you subscribe.
A little fun entertainment, right?
Like a little fun entertainment. We'll come up with another theme. We'll see what theme. And if you want to suggest a theme for us to dress up as and make it entertaining, and so I can feel a bit more ridiculous. No, this is never how I look.
I actually would look like this on a normal day. Sad but true.
Yeah.
Well,
look like I have dog ears. Yes.
Yeah. I usually will look like this on a normal day. Minus the makeup. Sometimes I just put on makeup for the live, guys. But anyway, all that to say, we love coming on here, bringing you valuable content, new shit, old shit. We just love talking about that shit. Okay. Exactly. And we're from Austin. So this is not a scripted conversation. We do want more engagement. So if you are on the live next time, just, post a little comment. And like Liza said, let us know what you want us to talk about.
We don't bite. We don't bite, guys. We promise. I know we look crazy, but we don't bite. So like, what's his name? Daddy Honcho. He was like, I'll buy that property for $300 cash. Well, you can buy my listing for $60,000 more.
Trying to get that on top of the house.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining our live. Again, we are ATX Homegirls. We are excited to do this for you. And again, we're going to go live August 17th at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss out. It's going to be Rika Keepers. She's going to be our guest speaker. Make sure you like and subscribe. And this is Melissa. I'm Liza. Thank you. We love you. And bye.